Hey guys, my name's Seth and this is my sister Samantha, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Education Spike Prime Kit and Spike Prime Expansion Set. This is our first video in a series of videos about the FLL, and we hope that you have a great time learning, and we'll teach you everything you need to know to be successful and to get started with an FLL team. Alright, so here it is. I'm so excited. It's been such a long time since LEGO has given us a new kit, new smart brick, and what a better time than the start of another FLL season. And I don't know, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm really excited too. Can't wait to see what it is.
So, here we go. So inside, we're first greeted with instructions how to use this brick. It looks like we'll take this off and see what it is here. On the back it looks like a parts list, so that is going to be useful. We definitely want to save this. I recommend keeping that for keeping track of the parts later. There's going to be stickers for labeling the bins inside. We've seen them do this before. These are great. They are very good for organizational purposes for the team. Help us improve, so we have some documents here. Not very much, really, just go to their website and give them tips if you want. Cords, more Legos, let's just dump it out and see what we have. So in this box we have our Lego battery and our Lego brick. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put the battery into the brick, and it fits really snugly. When you shake it, it has just a little bit of give, which is not bad, but it's not as tight. It's very tight fit, very snug. But I mean, I'm pleased with the quality of this. I've seen Lego products before, and unlike typical batteries, it has none of that shaking sound when you shake it. It's solid. I'm pleased with that. Bluetooth compatible. This seems very like a nice brick, well put together. And the cords are different. That's one thing to note. Your Lego Mindstorm's cords will not work with this Spike Lego computer, and that's kind of expected because they want you to buy their cords, the new cords. I mean, it's a given. So yeah, these look like nice platform pieces. This is something I've never seen before, like it's just a grid style pattern on Lego connectors. I'm excited. This is going to be really adaptable, and I'm pleased with this. It looks very solid. It's going to be great brace material, whatever you want to use it for.
Yeah, so here's one of the pieces that we have in the kit. It looks like we have some wheels here, some frames right here, but it looks really good quality. Can't wait to put this together.
Yeah, so this is one of their motors, one of their new motors. Let's see if I can see what part this specifically is. Where did I put this? Oh, right here. So this looks like the larger motor of the two. I'm excited to see how these perform. I have a good history, like I've been impressed thoroughly with Lego Mindstorm's motors in the past, and I don't expect anything to be different for this education set. This is a smaller motor. I'm not sure what these are. I don't know the exact name on them, but because I'm just barely getting to look at this equipment. But I'm pleased. They feel solid. I know how Lego motors have performed in the past for their size. Like, you can see this relative to my hand. They perform extremely well. And it looks like we have the smaller pieces. I want to know what's in this box. Excited to see what's in those boxes. Well, I'm going to open this up here to get this box out. And here are your rubber bands. So a lot of Lego projects, they require a rubber band. The interesting thing about these rubber bands is they can also be used as belts with pulleys. They are quite useful and interesting, very helpful, and I'm excited. I'm surprised at how much they packed into this small kit. Having seen Legos before, like there's never been this much variety in a Lego Mindstorms kit by itself. I'm very thoroughly impressed.
Oh, definitely.
Here you got some gears, some tires. Just to show you the part that I've been talking about. Let's see now. It is this part. This is what you can use as a pulley. It has the grooves just to fit the elastic perfectly in there. So you can use elastic on this, like Lego elastic. It's useful. I still am astounded by how much variety there is packed into this small bag. So here we have some Lego Mindstorms shafts. I've used these in the past. They're durable. They work really well with everything Lego, and they're just your typical Lego shafts. Looks like you have all sizes of them too, which I'm happy to see they included. And I would hope that they would include them. Looks like they have all sizes up to like an 8 or so, an 8 or 9 in length. Actually, yeah. But don't quote me on that. I could be incorrect. I'll need to look at the specific product details, I'm sure. We have these balls. So this ball right here, I'm gonna open this up to show what's in this package. I have been very pleased with this stuff in the past. I've used some of these. I've used some similar pieces. And if you're familiar with Lego Education, they do come with these rollers. So this is essentially a ball bearing. You pop this in that piece, and then it can roll around. So you can use this as your third wheel. Your third wheel in the back. So like if you have 2 drive wheels in the front, it's gonna be your third wheel in the back, and it means you can go in tighter corners, or around tighter corners, and it rolls in any direction. So that's very useful. Happy to see they included it. I expected that they would. Wow, I have never seen this piece before. It's an angle 2x2. I'm excited to see this used in and how different teams will use it in their competitions. I have a feeling it's gonna make building things so much easier. I haven't seen that piece before. Pleased to see that they made it. It's one that I've been looking for a long time because it takes out the work of having to build an angle if it's given to you in that one piece. Here's some regular bricks. I imagine you can either build these into your robot or use them as plain pieces your robot handles. I'm glad that they put those in here. This looks like, this is a light sensor, color sensor? It's either a light or a color sensor. I know this is a type of sensor. Let's open it up just so you can see the detail on it. There you go. Alright, so I'm gonna look into this lens here. See, so it has a light on it for sure. Definitely gonna be useful. So this is the cord you're gonna use for your brick, and I am so pleased they made the switch. They haven't gotten to USB Type-C yet, but they're one step closer. This is a micro USB. We don't have the old Lego Mindstorms connector cords, which were a hassle. I will say I was always running around like, oh no, if I don't have that precise cord, I'm not gonna be able to connect it. Thank you, Lego. We needed this. This is a micro USB, and I'm very happy. I cannot wait because all my other cords are going to be compatible. So now if you have a regular micro USB cable, you can just plug it into your computer and you're good to go. No more looking for any extra cords or anything else. You just have this one and you're golden. So yeah, another sensor. So you press this in, and it tells you when you've hit a wall. Something very useful for like if you're driving straight on a field, it knows when you get to the wall, you hit it and then you can back up and turn, so then you don't have to count all your revolutions. It's one way it can be faster. Yes, so they tell you where the 0 is. Right here, you can see it lines up with the part that twists. So they tell you where point O is, so you know. I am actually really pleased with that. I haven't seen that before, and it's a new edition. I wasn't looking for it, but I'm glad it's here. And that will be useful in the future, just to know if you twist it to that point, then it's at 0.0 on the motor. Then it's easier to count revolutions, so you can see every time it passes. That's 1, 2 when it passes. So you know how much you turned if you're looking at it. That's helpful.
What's this?
This is an ultrasonic sensor. You can tell, as I'll get out of the bag, I'll show you. So you can tell. One thing to look for an ultrasonic sensor is if it has the little mesh looking on the eyes. Not sure if that'll focus, but if you see the mesh on the eyes, the silver mesh, that is an ultrasonic sensor. So what this does is it sends out high frequency sound that's inaudible to humans, and when it hits something, it bounces back and it measures the speed, the time it takes, and you can program it so when it gets to an inch or 2 away, then this will stop, and you can program it at any distance up to pretty much, I don't know the limitations of this sensor, but in the past they have had it so it works as far as anywhere in the field and farther, so you're good on any LEGO challenge that you'll be presented to in the FLL. I'm glad to see that was included. I know oftentimes before they include infrared sensors. I don't see one of those, although that would be useful. Infrared can be more accurate closer than an ultrasonic sensor. They didn't include that. So I mean, oh well, but ultrasonic sensor is easier to program, and given the Spike is more of a beginner kit geared toward the person who's new to programming, I can understand why they did that. And so yeah, that's the sensors, and it looks like we have 2 more motors. Yeah, we have 2 small motors. Okay, so this is the same as the other one. Just going to be 1 more miniature motor, looks like. And I assume these are probably either called small motors or medium motors. Is interesting. They have a fun way of naming their motors that's been confusing to me in the past, but I'm not sure if they've changed this one, but I hope. I need to find out the name of these parts. So this is another small motor, just like the other one. These appear to be identical, and so I'm sure they are. Otherwise, LEGO would make them look different so you don't get confused. And this is the large motor. This is going to have more guts, and it will probably move slower. That's the one thing about the bigger motors. They have more torque, but they move slower. And the reason they're bigger is because they have a gearbox that changes the ratio of the motor. Anyway. So this is the larger motor. Again, they have this marker at the top so you can see where you are when you twist it relative to the 0.0. So I'm glad about that. From here on out, like just typical bars and stuff. One thing I really enjoy about this is that they're color coded. No more fishing or it's gonna be a lot easier to find your parts, I assume, because before everything was either black or brown, or a lot of the time it was black or brown or red, or gray, but those were the colors. Now things are more brightly colored. You have a little bit more variety, and so I'm pleased with that. One thing to note, I like the unique wheels. I've seen wheels like this before, only in one set of Legos before, and it didn't have anything to do with robotics, so I won't get into that, but they're new. These are larger versions, and I like the idea of the tread the way they put on them. I think that'll have better grip, and it's going to be smaller, and it'll have more grip for the size, so I appreciate that. The real test is going to be programming and seeing how these perform once we get it driving, and I will make sure to include that in a separate video. So yeah, I am very pleased with these wheels. I have to say, very satisfying to run your finger along, and they're grippy.
Yeah, definitely.
And
these are really nice.
and they bring back old memories, frankly, of playing with Legos when I was a lot younger. Glad to see they are bringing back this in a new robotics kit. I'm very happy with this. The rest here is just your typical Lego kit. I have not seen this type of piece. This is a type of piece for a brace before. So what this is it's a gear track. The gear will run along this track, and you can use it to climb. You can use it to push things out. I've never seen a piece like this before. I'm excited about it.
Me neither.
Very unique, and I always enjoy unboxing new Lego things, seeing what they change, parts that they haven't done before, and that's why Lego Mindstorms and Lego Education Edition are so good, because they are always building or giving out new parts for new competitions so it can evolve. Wow, okay, I just